Welcome to a new deep dive. Today we're setting off on a really fascinating journey. We're headed to Gujarat, a state on India's western coast where ancient history just effortlessly blends with vibrant culture and modern innovation. We've really dug deep into our sources for this one, pulled out the most important insights,
Yeah.
about what makes Gujarat so unique, so dynamic. Our mission, really, is to uncover those surprising nuggets, from its millennia-old roots to its incredible industrial might, and, well, everything in between. Did you know, for instance, this is the birthplace of a global icon of peace?
Right. Mahatma Gandhi.
And also home to the world's only wild Asiatic lions.
Yeah, it's an amazing mix.
It really is an amazing blend of tradition and progress. We can't wait to unpack it for you.
So, okay, let's start with the sheer diversity of Gujarat itself. The geography, it's breathtakingly varied. We're talking vast salt deserts, incredibly fertile plains, a long coastline, even forested hills.
Quite the range.
Definitely. And it's bordered by states like Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, right, and the Arabian Sea, of course.
And uniquely, it even shares a border with Pakistan up in the Kutch region.
That's a key point, geographically and historically.
Yeah. And these crucial rivers, Narmada, Tapi, Sabarmati, Mahi, they don't just shape the landscape, do they?
Not at all.
No.
They're absolutely essential for the ecology, for the economy. It's remarkable how deeply Gujarat's history is, rooted in that very geography.
How so?
Well, look at its location. It makes perfect sense that connections here stretch back over 4,000 years to the ancient Indus Valley civilization.
Wow.
Yeah, the archaeological site of Lothal near Ahmedabad, that was a thriving port, a hub of global trade even back then.
Incredible. 4,000 years ago.
Exactly. And that strategic spot meant the region saw, well, the rise and fall of powerful dynasties. You had the Mauryas, the Guptas, then influential Solanki and Chalukya rulers. They left behind these grand temples. And later, the Sultanate of Gujarat, the Mughals, and finally the British East India Company,
Right.
every single one recognized and leveraged Gujarat's value as a trading gateway.
That makes perfect sense. And you feel that history, don't you? This deeply ingrained spirit of commerce and community forged over millennia. It really beats at the heart of Gujarat's vibrant culture.
Absolutely.
And when we talk about culture, wow. This place is as colorful as its festivals.
Oh, definitely.
Imagine Navratri, for instance. It's celebrated there with just unmatched energy. The whole state basically turns into this huge dance party, Garba and Dandiya Raz, those amazing rhythmic folk dances.
Often with the sticks, yeah. They're truly world famous.
They really are.
And what's truly insightful, I think, is how these traditions aren't just, historical relics. They're actively integrated into modern life, powerful anchors for community identity, especially with all the rapid economic change happening.
That's a great point. And it's not just Navratri, right?
No. You've also got Uttarayan, the kite festival.
Yeah.
Every January, the sky just becomes this kaleidoscope of colors. It's stunning.
I've seen pictures. Amazing.
And then there's the Rath Yatra in Ahmedabad, fairs like Tarnatar and Bhavnath Mahadev. The list goes on.
So much life.
And if you look deeper, these traditions are profoundly woven into the spiritual fabric of the state. Gujarat is home to Dwarka, believed to be the ancient kingdom of Lord Krishna,
Right. Hugely significant.
and Somnath Temple, one of the 12 Jyotirlingas, the sacred shrines of Lord Shiva, famously rebuilt so many times after invasions, a symbol of resilience.
It really is a tapestry of faiths, isn't it? You mentioned these ancient Hindu sites, but what really struck me in the sources was the sheer spiritual diversity there, too.
Absolutely. You have Palitana. It's the most sacred pilgrimage site for Jains. Over 800 temples clustered on hilltops.
Yeah.
It's truly an awe-inspiring sight. You have to see it to believe it. But beyond that, it's also a place where you find beautiful Islamic architecture, Christian churches, ancient Buddhist caves, even Zoroastrian fire temples. It reflects this incredibly rich and diverse spiritual landscape. Coexistence seems key.
And you see that vibrancy reflected visually, too, like in the traditional attire.
Definitely.
The chaniya colis with that intricate mirror work, those beautiful skirts and blouses.
Stunning work.
Or the bandhani tie-dye art. And the richly woven silk patola fabrics.
Very famous, very intricate.
And the embroidery and beadwork, especially from Kutch, just incredible craftsmanship.
It really brings the traditions to life.
Yeah.
And it's not just clothing, is it?
No, exactly. Even today, folk music, puppet shows, tribal dances, they're still very much part of everyday life in many areas.
The living culture.
Totally. Now, this richness, it isn't just for humans, right? It extends to Gujarat's incredible natural wonders.
Yes.
And its unique food. But first, nature. Maybe the most striking fact is that Gujarat is the only place in the world where the Asiatic lion still roams freely.
That's right. And the Gir National Park, the only place.
Amazing. And then you have the Great Rann of Kutch, that vast salt desert.
Which becomes absolutely magical during the Rann Utsav, that annual cultural festival out there on the salt flats.
Yeah, celebrating that unique landscape. And incredibly, the Marine National Park in the Gulf of Kutch. That's India's first marine sanctuary.
It's fascinating, isn't it? It makes you ask, how does a state that's so industrially powerful manage to maintain such rich biodiversity, these incredible natural wonders?
It's a good question.
Because you also find places like the Nalsarovar Bird Sanctuary, a haven for hundreds of migratory bird species,
Right.
and Saputara, which is Gujarat's only hill station, known for its lush greenery and its tribal culture, too.
So there's a real effort there.
It seems so. It speaks to a concerted effort, I think, to balance that growth with preservation, which isn't easy.
Definitely not. Okay, let's talk food because
Yes. Gujarati cuisine.
renowned for its diverse and really distinctive vegetarian food, that famous balance of sweet, salty, and spicy flavors.
That's the hallmark, isn't it?
Totally. You've got signature dishes like dokla, that savory steamed cake.
A classic. And kanvi, those delicate rolled snacks.
Love kanvi. And thepla, the spiced flatbread. Fafda, the crispy fried snacks. Hanvo, the savory vegetable cake.
And undiyu, that amazing mixed vegetable casserole, traditionally cooked upside down in an earthen pot.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, just listing these makes my mouth water.
Mine too.
And a Gujarati thali.
That's practically a feast, isn't it?
It really is. A complete meal. All those little bowls with different curries, lentils, pickles, sweets, different breads.
Such variety. And for those with a sweet tooth.
Plenty of options.
Yeah.
There's shrikhan, that lovely sweetened yogurt dessert.
Mm.
Mahanthal, a dense sort of fudgy graham flour sweet. And gari, a flaky pastry often filled with nuts and mawa.
Delicious. Our sources say the food is flavorful, but also surprisingly simple in some ways.
Yeah, often cooked with less oil than some other Indian cuisines, but big on spices and often using jaggery, that unrefined cane sugar, for sweetness. Right, that unique sweet, savory balance again. Okay, now let's pivot. Let's turn to the future-forward side of Gujarat.
Okay. The economic engine.
Exactly. This is truly one of India's most industrialized states and very investor-friendly, a real economic powerhouse.
No question about it.
It contributes significantly to, well, petrochemicals and oil refining for starters. It's famously home to Reliance.
Which operates the world's largest oil refinery in Jamnagar. That's huge on a global scale.
It really is.
And that's just one example of its dominance, you know. If you look across key sectors, Gujarat is a leader. Pharmaceuticals, textiles.
And diamonds and gems, right?
Surat. Surat, yes. Globally recognized as the diamond polishing capital of the world. An incredible concentration of that specific industry.
Amazing. And it's not just those traditional industries either, is it?
Not anymore, no.
Yeah.
It's also become a major hub for automobile manufacturing.
Right. I saw plants from big players like Tata Motors, Suzuki.
There as well.
They're all there. And with that incredibly long coastline, the ports must be significant.
Hugely significant. World-class ports like Mundra, Kandla, Dahej, Hazira. This makes Gujarat an undisputed leader in ports and logistics for India.
So much trade flowing through.
Exactly. And what's noteworthy here is that this isn't accidental growth. It's quite strategic.
How so?
While you have things like the vibrant Gujarat Summit, it actively attracts global investors, serves as a major platform for industrial collaboration.
Okay, so proactive promotion.
Very much so. And this industrial prowess is consciously backed by strong educational institutions. Think Ahmedabad.
World-renowned business school.
Exactly. And the National Institute of Design, NID. CEPT University for Architecture and Planning. These feed talent into the ecosystem.
Right, building the human capital.
Plus, there's significant investment now in startups and fintech parts, even in renewable energy education. It's all part of the plan.
And the infrastructure supports all this, presumably.
Oh, definitely. You see wide road networks and expanding railway systems.
International airports in Ahmedabad and Surat.
Yes. And even that upcoming bullet train project connecting Ahmedabad to Mumbai, that's a massive undertaking.
Huge. And they're embracing smart cities, too.
Yes, smart cities, huge solar power parks. Gujarat's a leader in solar and advanced water management systems, trying to set an example for, sustainable development alongside growth.
It's pretty incredible, isn't it, how one state can be the birthplace of a global icon like Mahatma Gandhi.
Whose philosophy of nonviolence shaped India's freedom movement.
Exactly, and also be such a formidable leader in modern infrastructure and industry. It's quite the juxtaposition.
It is. And remember, post-independence, Gujarat only became a separate state in 1960. Carved out from Bombay State.
Right. So its journey as a distinct entity is relatively recent in the grand scheme of things.
Relatively, yes. And it does raise an interesting question, doesn't it? How does a state balance that profound historical and, moral legacy of Gandhi with such aggressive modern development?
Yeah, that tension must be there.
For sure. And while Gujarat's strengths are really evident, the sources we looked at also point to real challenges. It's not all smooth sailing.
Like what?
Well, things like water scarcity, especially in the semi-arid regions like Kutch and Saurashtra. Coastal erosion is an issue at that long coastline.
Okay.
There's an urban-rural imbalance that needs addressing, like in many rapidly developing places, and the ongoing need to preserve its rich tribal cultures and languages, making sure they're not lost in the modernization push.
Right, ensuring inclusive growth.
Exactly. Plus, improving public health care access, particularly in the more remote areas. These are persistent challenges.
So, still work to be done.
Always. So while that drive towards progress is absolutely undeniable, it's a nuanced story, isn't it? Constant evolution requiring strong governance, yes, but also active community participation and continuous innovation to overcome these hurdles.
It sounds like it. We've truly taken a deep dive into Gujarat today, and it really is a shining example, I think, of what can happen when history, enterprise, culture, and thoughtful governance come together. From the peaceful banks of the Sabarmati River, where Gandhi lived and worked, to those dazzling white salt plains of Kutch.
And from age-old temples to cutting-edge industries.
Yeah. Gujarat truly seems to embody the soul of India's past and at the same time the vibrant spirit of its future.
Well put.
Whether you're exploring its rich crafts, savoring that unique cuisine, or learning from its incredible legacy of leadership, Gujarat really leaves you feeling inspired, I think, energized, and genuinely impressed.
It certainly does, and maybe that leaves us with something to think about. As you reflect on Gujarat's remarkable journey, from being an ancient port thousands of years ago to this modern industrial hub, what aspects of its approach, especially in trying to balance that rapid modernization with preserving ancient traditions and tackling tough contemporary challenges like water scarcity or the urban-rural divide, what aspects do you find most applicable or perhaps most inspiring for other regions around the world facing similar dilemmas?